Hello, and welcome to the 38th Annual Everett C. Parker Lecture and Award Ceremony. This year, we are online, and we are so thrilled that you're joining us today. My name is Reverend Lawrence Richardson, and it is my pleasure to be joining you today. Now, I'd like to welcome Sister Simone Campbell.
And so, with this sense of celebration, this sense of possibility, let us pray. O Divine Spirit, open our hearts that we might listen deeply.
This event always gives me so much pleasure, from being able to celebrate a few victories with our allies and friends, to lifting each other up when we're feeling low, and pushing each other to do better. When I first started working in this field more than 20 years ago, I met Everett Parker, but I think it has taken me all those years to truly understand and appreciate the impact that he had on this country. And today, in this time of COVID, I feel like his priorities, the priorities of the organization that he founded, are right in line with the ethos of the moment. Broadband is essential, and Black Lives Matter.
I am so honored that OC Inc. asked me to introduce this year's Parker Award recipient, Karen Peltz Strauss. Karen has spent 4 decades leading nationwide efforts in support of federal policies that ensure people with disabilities have access to communications, services, and equipment.
I'm so honored to take my place among prior recipients of this award, whom I have held in such high esteem for their work on media justice. I'm especially humbled by the work of the award's namesake, Dr. Parker, whose struggle for equal access to communications paved the way for so many underserved communities, including the disability community. For most of the 20th century, TV remained inaccessible to people who are deaf and hard of hearing. Until around the 1980s, there were no closed captions, and it took 2 federal laws and another 30 years before this access truly gained full acceptance within the TV industry. This not only denied basic access to news, information, and entertainment, it prevented learning about basic rights and cultural mores. This award acknowledges that these ongoing struggles for disability justice are part and parcel of the struggles for civil rights so important to Dr. Parker, and for which the Office of Communications continues to fight. I applaud your amazing efforts to achieve what our good friend Senator Markey has referred to as the democratization of access to information. The need to make all media sectors responsive to every community's needs, regardless of privilege. And for this most prestigious award, here it is, I express my deepest gratitude to you. Thank you so much.
I am the Reverend Dr. Karen Georgia Thompson. I am one of the 3 elected officers who lead the United Church of Christ at the national level. I am the Associate General Minister for Wider Church Ministries and the co-executive for Global Ministries. I am delighted to introduce this year's Parker Lecturer, Valerie Kaur.
Everett Parker fought to ensure that all people could speak and be heard on the most important mass media of his time, broadcast television. Today, we are fighting to ensure that all people can speak and be heard on the most important media of our time, the internet. The public art that we see, the protest signs and the overturning of industries, all of that is because of the digital platforms that so many of you created and protected. It still made this possible. We will not be able to solve the existential crises facing our nation or our species, whether racial justice or keeping our planet habitable or protecting our democracy, without a free and open internet, without each of you fighting to remake our digital and media world so that it reflects our deepest values. And that means being as brave as Everett Parker was. And this brings me back to Everett Parker. Everett Parker saw that Dr. King's pulpit was not just a block of wood in a Memphis church, but the conscience of the whole country And he opened that stage with the tools of his trade, the same tools that you hold now. Will we create a digital and media world that changes the terms, that closes the divide, and that preserves a place where everyone is welcome, where everyone's voices are heard? Will you fight for a world that empowers us to build a future of equality and liberation and beloved community?